Hi everyone, I want to say thank you so much for joining me in my masterclass today. I'm really excited to be talking everything travel coaching with you and helping you figure out whether travel coaching is the dream career for you like it was for me. So maybe you're here right now watching this masterclass, watching this video, and because you're in a spot where you're trying to figure out what your dream career is. You have a love for travel, you have a passion for travel, you have some sort of travel experience or knowledge or expertise, and you want to figure out what you can do to earn a living and make a living where you align your passion with your dream career, and you haven't quite figured that out. So maybe you're stuck in a regular 9-to-5 job, or you aren't really quite doing what you're meant to be doing, what you love doing, and you want to be able to try to figure out what career that could be where you can enjoy and be happy every day and excited, and just basically align what you're meant to do with what you absolutely love. And that for me was becoming a travel coach. I absolutely loved to travel. I had so much experience and such a passion. I loved helping others. I loved to share my travel knowledge and experiences. And I turned that into my own online travel coaching business. And it absolutely transformed and changed my life. And I want to be able to be here today and help you figure out if that is the life transformation that you are waiting for and that you're seeking. And if so, I'm so excited to be on that track with you and help you jumpstart your journey. So, are you looking to measure? I'm going to be going over my some notes that I took today, just because I want to be able to pack this masterclass with as much value as I can. And I have, so I'm going to be covering a lot today, and I'm really excited to share it all with you because it's the exact stuff that I did to create my own business, where I went from just a backpacker to a business owner. I went from a travel blogger to a travel coach. So everything that I'm talking about in this masterclass today is exactly the steps and the tools that I use. So basically, I'm going to be covering the strategies that I used in this masterclass today to becoming a travel coach, and I'm going to be breaking those down for you, and I'm really excited to be sharing that with you. So I really recommend, if you take notes, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and take notes, because this is really valuable information, and you can use this information that I'm giving in this masterclass today, even just apply it to a blog or apply it to any sort of coaching industry if maybe a travel coach isn't for you, or just starting a business in general or an online business. So the information in this masterclass today is super valuable, and it's stuff that I wish was laid out to me, handed to me when I started a while ago. So see, are you looking to measure your love for travel with owning your own travel business? Do you wish that you can find a career that you could use your experiences and what you know and what you love while traveling and earn money doing so? And why not? That's the dream career, right? Who doesn't want to take what they know and love to talk about and what they know most about and make money, make a living from it? And that's what I figured out for myself, and I'm here to help you do too. And so that's exactly how I felt until I found my dream career as a travel coach, and it's exactly what I was looking for after all these years. So who is this masterclass for? This masterclass today is for anyone who's stuck in a rut when they're trying to figure out what exactly is my dream career. What can I exactly do to that makes me happy, that brings me joy, that I can make a good living and just do what I absolutely love? Because trust me, that's how I felt. That's where I was before I became a travel coach. I was struggling for quite some time trying to figure out what exactly I was meant to do for a living and how I can use what I learned and know and how much I love about travel to be able to find that dream career. So I'm going to be talking more about me and my personal journey in just a minute. So in this masterclass, I'm going to be sharing with you my personal journey from blogger to travel coach and business owner, backpacker to business owner, and the strategies of becoming a travel coach and starting your own online travel coaching business. But what I'm not going to be doing in this masterclass today, which I'm really excited that I'm not going to be doing, is this masterclass is not like all the other masterclasses that you probably have already watched or attended in the past. I'm not going to be throwing all this fluff of numbers and statistics and, tell you that you're going to make an X amount of money in 10 days or you're going to have X amount of followers in just a month. Like, I'm not here to fill your head with all this grandiose ideas. I'm here to give you the honest truth, and I'm here to give you real tools that you can use and take action today, steps that you can take today to be able to start on your own personal journey and transformation to ultimately finding your dream career. It's what I wish that someone had helped me with, or I found someone to do help me with years ago when I was stuck as just a traveler trying to figure out what I was put on this earth to do as a career. So so you're not going to be hearing all that from me, but I am going to be completely honest. I am going to be talking about my program that I've created. It is called Travel from Passion to Profit. And the reason I'm going to be talking about it is because it is the complete framework that I have used and created to start my own online business. It is literally like everything you need to know on a silver platter. It's what I wish that I had when I first started, and I poured my heart and my soul into it. I am so excited to share it with you. I know that it is going to help you so much in your life and on your career path, and that's why I'm going to be talking about my program later on. But keep in mind, this masterclass is the strategies that I use to become a travel coach, which is what the framework of my program is based on. This masterclass is those strategies broken down for you. So you're going to get, I pulled some of my most favorite and most valuable information out of my program, and I put it into this masterclass for you. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. So that's why it's super important to make sure that you take notes, okay? So I've designed a complete framework in such a way that it puts you on the path to living your ideal life. So it's going to help you find what you're meant to be doing. It's going to help you become your own boss, create your own schedule. It's on put you on your path to your financial freedom, whatever that number may be. If you put it out there and you set for it, you can achieve it. That's why I set up this masterclass. What I'm not going to be doing is giving you all these numbers that I guarantee you're going to be making this or that. Like a lot of you see these other coaches or people in the online world, online businesses, they, give you false hope, kind of, where it's not necessarily false because it's not that no one makes it or no one can achieve that, because of course it's very possible, but there's just so much that you need to understand first and figure out on your own or first before you get to that point. So for someone saying that you're going to make X amount in 3 days or 5 days or something, like, I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to fill your mind with that kind of fluff. I'm here to just be honest and real and truth, and give you the information that I know and the value that I have, and help you jumpstart your own journey. So my framework is also going to help put you on the track to being able to work from wherever you want and aligning your heart and your passion with your career. So I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be mentioning my program like I already mentioned. Sorry, I'm going off of my notes. There are six strategies that you need to know to become a travel coach, and I break those 6 down, like I mentioned, into this masterclass. I'll be mentioning what those are in just a minute. But those 6 strategies are also what I took to break down into the modules of my program that I said that I'll be mentioning towards the end of talking more about towards the end of this masterclass as well. So whether you choose to enroll in my program at the end of this or whenever, that's completely up to you. I am just so excited to be here helping and sharing you this information with you, because these are really important strategies to starting any online business or any coaching business, or just on the path of helping you figure out what your dream career is in general. So I will go over all of those in this masterclass. So I wanted to talk about a little bit more about me. So I was never one who exactly knew what kind of career that I wanted, what I was meant to be doing. When I went to university, I went to 2 years at one university, and I just took generic classes, and I just never was someone who knew exactly what I wanted to do as a career. Sometimes there's people who are like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a vet or a dentist. Like, they have an exact career path, and they just go with it for school. So they know exactly what steps they need to take, what programs, what schooling, what certifications, and whatnot. That was never me. I never really could pinpoint what exactly I wanted to do or be or have as a career. So I tried so many different things, and I have a lot of interest, and I just got a lot of experience in a lot of areas. But still, I struggled for quite some time trying to figure out exactly what that my ideal career path was, what I knew would make me happy in my heart. So even when I was traveling for quite some time, So I just started traveling when I was right out of university. I was about 22 years old, and that was about almost 10 years ago. And like I said, even when I graduated with a degree in hospitality and tourism management, which you're like, oh, great. Like, that's exactly, in the tourist or travel field. Yeah, it is. I had a lot of, I studied marketing and sales, and I studied a bunch of stuff like that, but that still didn't scream to me what career path I wanted, what I was meant to be doing. And I struggled for quite some time still trying to figure that out. So what I just did is let me backtrack a little bit. I'll go into my story about how I even got my love for travel even developed. So it wasn't until my third year of university when I entered my hospitality and tourism program. I transferred schools to Chicago, and I had a international tourism course where I learned. Or I met a lot of foreign exchange students, and the very first day we went around the room and we talked about how many countries we've been to. And I, at that point, had been to like maybe 3 countries. I'm from the US, so I was like to Canada and Mexico and some US states. And I didn't even remember those trips. And like one family holiday to Dominican Republic. And all these other students in my course had like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 destinations, countries that they've been to. And then my professor stood up there and he shared all the places he'd been to. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to be able to do that. But I come from a middle class family. I am a only child from a single mom, and we never had that excess money to be able to just spend it on traveling. So I had no clue how I was going to be able to accomplish my travel goals or dreams that I'd created for myself. But I knew that I would figure out a way to do so. So that was my third year of university. So I had 2 more years, and I graduated in 2010. And I worked the summer. I went from working 5 jobs, hustling my butt off, trying to make money and save money, and trying to afford my $1,000 rent in Chicago. And I switched into working in restaurants, which allowed me to work just one job. And I just was so busy working that I just started saving money, and it was just adding up. And I then graduated from school. I moved out of Chicago. I moved to all my stuff to my mom's apartment, and I went on my very first backpacking trip to Europe. And that was when I was about 22 years old, and I caught the travel bug since then. And that was the very spark of my entire transformation in my journey from then to travel coach and business owner now. And it was quite the journey. And I had so many ups and downs and struggles, which I'll mention or I'll talk about. But I want to share that with you because I know that there are many people who can relate to me, who can understand how it is to be able to, struggle trying to figure out what your dream career, what you're meant to be doing, and what really aligns with what you love. And you just don't want to settle for just any job, or you want to make a change in your life if you're at a current job where you're just settling, you're not feeling fully fulfilled. So when I was traveling, I started a travel blog just as kind of like a diary. And this was in 2010, before all the like big blogging industry before all of the technology and the tools and the apps and all this stuff. So I was trying to figure out my way as a backpacker in foreign countries. Never been anywhere, didn't speak anything but English and some Spanish. And I was just so excited to be on this journey and make this new change in my life. But so although I was young and I didn't quite know what my dream career was, that was okay because I used my love for travel to help me go through it. I was just traveling. I was experiencing, I was learning, I was growing as a person. I was just trying to figure out or just get the most experience in life as I could. So I allowed time and the universe to allow me to figure out what I was meant to be doing as a career when the time was right. So sorry, my video is being really weird. I just want to make sure that it's okay. So I was trying to figure out what I was meant to be doing, but I was allowing time and, like I said, the universe to help me figure that out when the time was right. And I didn't put very much stress on myself. I since then had been to travel to 75 countries by the time that I was 30 years old, and I innately learned how to as a result, I should say, I learned how to master budget traveling on a budget and traveling as a girl, traveling by myself, and managing my money. And moved back to Chicago 3 times just to kind of replenish my bank account and work back in the restaurants. And I had saved, each time I went back, I saved like double what I was expecting to save. And I, in between, took trips from anywhere from 2 weeks to 5 or 6 months. And that is what got me to about a year ago. And so as I'm reaching, a little bit older, and I never let society or friends or family put pressure on me of, it's so common when they're like, when are you going to settle down, or what are you going to be finally like find a partner or have a family or buy a house or, get a real job. Everyone who says like get a real job. But for me, I knew that my heart didn't want all those things that, pressure was being put on a lot of people my age. So I was trying to figure out, like, just stay focused and just do what you're meant to be doing. And, like, things will work out and figure out when the time came. And so, but as I was getting older, so about 28, 29, I had that internal pressure on myself of like, okay, when am I going to figure out what I meant to be doing? I knew that I loved to travel, and I had so much travel experience and knowledge and things I learned and things I loved. And I loved helping people over the years who reached out to me and asked me for travel advice. And I loved sharing my travel blog. Hold on, I'm just going to change my lighting. It's so bright. What was I saying? So I knew that I loved to help people who reach out to me, and I was just giving out all this free advice. And I love talking about all my travels in my travel blog, and keeping really important information that I wish that I had learned or someone told me during certain trips, whether it's in regards to like passports or in entrance or exit fees or taxes or anything like that. And so but I couldn't figure out exactly what I was meant to do how can I turn this into a job? And I knew about travel blogging. I knew about becoming a travel agent. I knew about, being a digital nomad and being a freelancer and, working for other people and with like a certain skill. But I wanted more. I wanted to make more money than what some of those jobs offered. I wanted to, use my unique perspective, and I really wanted to find out what resonated really with my true calling and my heart and my values and everything. So I still had no clue. So that was until about a year ago. I was on a trip to my third time to Asia and other parts of Europe. And so I remember being in like the north of Spain, and I was trying to figure out, you know what, I'm just going to really dive deep into figuring everything that I can about the travel industry. So I did. For the past like year, I started studying everything that I could know about the travel industry, about the online business world and starting your own business and everything like that. So I had taken like every training and masterclass and free course and everything you could think of. I followed every guru, and I had conversations, and I learned, and I was trying to figure out what really was resonating with me. Like, what can I still do? Because I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I wanted to start my own business, but I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And I knew that I knew what I was able to do. I knew what skills I had and what knowledge I had and what experiences I had. And I knew what I had was really unique, but I couldn't figure out what it was that I could apply and build a business off of. And so, and I knew that the other things were that I didn't know, or that I knew that I didn't want, were I didn't want to work for someone else. I didn't want to work for someone who didn't value me or my abilities. I didn't want to be stuck in a 9-to-5 job. Like an office job wasn't going to be for me. I knew that the corporate world really didn't resonate with me or my values. I didn't want to be stuck in a schedule, or I didn't want to go to bed feeling like, oh, I don't want to go to work the next day, or I didn't want to wake up feeling, oh, I wish I get called off, or work would be closed today or whatever. I I knew that I didn't want any of those things. So I used what I knew that I didn't want, and I used what I knew that I did want, which was I wanted to be able to have like financial freedom. Meaning I wanted to make like a good income, and I wanted to be able to work from anywhere I wanted in the world. I wanted to be able to work on my time frame and build my own schedule. I wanted to be able to use what I knew and I loved most in this world, and I wanted to help others. And I wanted to be able to, work from my couch if I wanted to on my laptop, or I wanted to have more time with my friends and my family when I wanted to. And I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to grow even more. I wanted to become something more. I wanted to, make a change in this world somehow with what I knew and what I loved. And I couldn't figure out what that was. So throughout my past year of all the studying that I was doing and research and deep diving and talking and conversations and meeting people and talking, I meshed that with what I had learned and what I had kind of did my own market research over the past 10 years of traveling as a backpacker with all the travelers that I met in my hostels, on planes. I learned what problems I ran into, what problems they ran into, what they used most, what I used most, what I wanted, what they wanted out of life, why they left their careers or why they were traveling. And I just learned, I meshed all this information that I did, and I somehow stumbled across the online coaching industry. And I was like, wow, this is a really booming industry. There's life coaches and fitness coaches and business coaches and spiritual coaches. And I was like, wow, they use what they know and what experience they have in their life and what transformation occurred in their life, and they help others achieve. So how can I mesh my love and experience with travel into my own, as a coach, as a coaching online coaching business? And so that's exactly what I did. I was like, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a travel coach. And I dug so deep into everything I could figure out about becoming a travel coach. But there was a problem. And the problem was there's not really anyone who is teaching anyone how to become a travel coach. So I had no one to go to. So for instance, if you're a life coach or you want to become a health coach or a business coach, there are so many people on the internet who provide programs and courses and platforms, and you can follow them and see their Facebook pages. And you can learn how to become a health coach or a business coach or a fitness coach or a spiritual coach. But there wasn't anyone that I could go to learn how to become a travel coach. And I was like, I was like, this is insane. Like, it's people. I know that there's people who want to, turn what they know and love for travel and help people, because there's so many people out there who want to learn how to travel in so many different ways, or they want to learn how to build a business based on what they know and experience through travel. But there wasn't anyone for me to go to. So as a natural problem solver, like I always have, I developed my own system. And so I took over the course of the year everything that I learned of starting an online business, of becoming a coach, of starting a business in general, of just everything that you need to know, like every single technical thing. And I created my own program, and I founded the Travel Coach Network. So I've created a community of online travel coaches, and is the go-to place for you to learn how to become a travel coach. So I started my own business and I founded the Travel Coach Network, and I am now here today giving you this masterclass and helping you find your dream career as a travel coach and transform your life and jumpstart your journey as a business owner, meshing your love and passion for travel into an online business, just like it did for me. And I'm so excited to be sharing all this with you. And I hope my lighting is okay because it's super bright. And it's actually because there's snow outside, so the snow is like reflecting all the light. So let me just check on my notes to see where I am, because I was rambling quite a bit. I knew what kind of career I wanted, which was, create my own schedule and work from anywhere in the world. And who doesn't want to do that? Like, there's the whole digital nomad world is just booming. And what I did find though, why some of the jobs like a trusted travel blogger or a travel agent or digital nomad or freelancer, why I wanted more, why those were not just for me, was because I knew what problems that they ran into. So for instance, as a travel blogger, it can be super stressful trying to, find a sponsor, find an affiliate, find someone who's going to want your content in order to make money, because that's how travel bloggers make money. And as a result, as a travel blogger, and it's unfortunate, but you often have to change your voice, your perspective um to apply for, to appeal to the sponsor or the publication or whoever it is, that the company that you're trying to pitch your content to. And that takes away from your original voice. And I didn't want to do that. I was like, I know that I like to write about this, and this is my perspective and how I write, and and this is, if someone's going to read it and they're going to love it, it's because they love and like what I personally write. And it's really hard to make money as a travel blogger and to get your wheel and to get on the fast track of making a good income, because there's so many struggles and the competition is so big. And I just knew that I wanted more. I enjoy travel blogging. It's what initially started my content, and I'll talk about how I use my content of my travel blog to jumpstart my business in just a minute. But I just still wanted something else. And then as a travel agent, I have this experience with planning itineraries and booking trips and stuff, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't love to do it. But for those who like doing stuff like that, the struggles as a travel agent, or travel advisor could be, it's hard going from the brick and mortar travel agencies to the online world, and then market and compete with the competition that's on there, or to appeal to a younger generation who have a whole new perspective on the way that they want to travel, like traveling more on a budget, or traveling to more places in less time, or whatever ship that may be. So, and for travel agents, you also have a specific certification you must get as well. And that just didn't align with what I wanted either. And then there's the travel influencers. So people who like grow their travel Instagrams, and they, exchange or reach out to a destination or a hotel or a hostel or a resort and say, hey, I am a travel influencer, and I am going to, can I come to stay at your place? I'll write a great report. I have X amount of followers, and you'll get attention and free marketing in exchange for a free stay or something. And the problem with that is that it's really hard to, have people take you seriously when it comes to becoming a travel influencer. It has a lot of perks, but a lot of times you're not really gaining much money. You're gaining just an exchange of service with a free stay or a free trip or something like that. So you're not really growing your bank account, and you're not really growing your perspective of knowledge or anything if you're just growing a following on your Instagram or your social media. But you have to figure out, what can you do to optimize on that growing number of followers or your social media and your platform, and turn that into cash, turn that into money, make a living off of it, so you can continue doing what you love. So that didn't really resonate with me either. I knew that there was something else that I wanted. So that's why I'm so excited to stumble upon the whole online travel coaching industry, and to because I knew that it just filled every single void and every single want and desire that I was looking for in a career. And I wish that I found it years ago. I wish that I found someone to say, this is a program you can take, or this is a platform you can look at or use, or this is a person who is a travel coach who's turn this lifestyle and this love for travel into their dream career, and model them or look after them or talk to them or ask questions to them. And I didn't have that. I didn't find that. So that's why I'm really, really excited to be here talking about and sharing this all with you, because maybe it is exactly what you've been looking for. So, okay, let's talk about what a travel coach actually is and does, what it's all about. So I break it down, a travel coach, into two kind of areas. A typical travel coach is someone that you might, when you Google travel coach, you can, some of the few people that pop up is under this definition. So a travel coach typically is someone who helps someone else accomplish their desired travel goals or dreams. So a travel coach typically helps with budgeting, money management, planning where to go, why do you want to travel, overcoming fears and anxieties when it comes to traveling, building your confidence to travel, getting you ready to go on a solo trip, and helping with every aspect of the mindset and the budget, figuring out, providing the tools. Travel coaches provide the tools and the resources and help people do it for themselves, but they guide them through the steps. Versus the difference of a travel agent and a travel coach is that a travel agent is someone who plans and books itineraries and deals with the payments and the processing and creates the entire schedule, the itinerary of someone for a trip. That's completely different from what a travel coach does. So the first definition is someone who helps someone else accomplish their travel goals and dreams, and that's a tip. That's essentially what I've been doing as a travel coach for many years now, and I didn't really quite realize it. And you might be doing the same thing. Is when people reach out to you and ask, how do you travel? What do you do? Or for instance, I have people all the time who would ask me, I am going on a trip with my boyfriend. We are looking to go for a week. We want to go somewhere warm. So I'd give them a list of questions to kind of figure out what they are looking to do. What kind of trip are you looking to do? What are you trying to get out of the trip? Why are you looking to travel? How long are you going for? And stuff like that. So that's basically what a travel coach does. But then I put a spin through the Travel Coach Network. We put a spin on what a travel coach does, and they take it a step further. So what we do is we help you as a lover of travel, as a wanderluster, take whatever specific knowledge, expertise, skills that you have learned or mastered through traveling, and you turn that into your own online travel coaching business. So for instance, I'll talk about me. So some of the skills that I mastered as a traveler for 10 years to 75 countries by the age of 30, all on my own funds, is that I learned how to, master the art, whether I knew it back then or not, of solo traveling, female traveling on a budget, money management. And then another example would be travel photography. So let's say that you are a photographer and you love to travel and you know exactly how to take the best wildlife shots. You capture the best images for wildlife when you travel. You know what season to go to, what destinations to go to, what time of day to go in, what camera to use, what angle to use, like every single technicality it is to create the shot that you get. And you've grown a following on social media. People love your photos. You have other photographers reaching out to you saying, I love photography. I want to be able to travel, or I do travel, but I don't know how to get the shots that you get. Like, how can I learn from you? What can you teach me? And you teach them that. So that's why a lot of people want to say, then why don't you just, like, what's the difference between a travel coach and a lifestyle coach? Or what's the difference between a travel coach and, a transformation coach or a business coach? And it's because it's the concept of the travel. So it's who I am and what I love, and it's where it stemmed from. I travel because I built this business and I built my career because I have traveled. I love to travel. I have a passion for travel. It's where my skills came from. It's what my knowledge is of. It's what transformed my life. And it's my vessel that I use to help others accomplish the same. So the theme and the focus is on the traveling. So that's the difference between just being a life coach or a transformation coach and being a travel coach. Sorry, just going to take a minute and look at my notes. And okay, so why I'm different from other coaches is that I help you turn your travel experiences, knowledge, expertise, passion, skills, and interest into a dream career path as an online travel coach. I help you put your voice and your own power back into your own hands. Like I mentioned, as a travel blogger or an influencer, you're going to tweak your perspective or your voice or your content to please or appeal to other publications or companies in order to get affiliations or sponsorships or however your whatever revenue stream that you're looking to use. But as a travel coach, you dive deep into your authentic transformation, your authentic voice and perspective, and you build upon that. So I help wanderlusters and travel lovers start and grow their own profitable online business. In my last 10 years circling the globe and getting hands-on experience and knowledge while interviewing hundreds of like-minded travelers has provided me with the most accurate and in-depth insight on what travel lovers, what people are seeking out of a dream career, of a travel career, because it's exactly what the same spot I was in. So through all my years of traveling, I was getting a hands-on experience and figuring out like where the voids lied, what people were struggling with and running into when trying to find their dream career. And I used all that to help me figure out like it's travel coaching. Like this could be the answer to so many people's questions. Another thing that sets me apart is I don't discriminate. And what I mean by that is that through my studies of online, the coaching industry and online business, growing a business, there are so many people who focus on targeting just girls or women. And I appeal to both. Like, I am here to help men and women grow their own online travel coaching business, or because it's not just women who love to travel. There's just so many men out there too who may resonate with my story, but they're not a girl, and that's completely understandable. Like I think the amount of people that I meet traveling are 50-50, men and like half are men and half are women. Like there's like I don't just focus my program or my services or my products or my teaching or my value to just women. I help men as well, and I think that's a huge difference between me and a lot of people that I find online who are online gurus or coaches and stuff. They target a lot of just online just women and growing a business and stuff. Women empowerment completely, but I am here to like help men as well, because if I was in a reverse situation and it was a man travel coach teaching me, why not? If a value is value. And I can relate to you because I too am a millennial. I too have graduated from university and even though I had a degree, I had no clue what career I wanted or what my career path was. And I too was a backpacker traveling the world and, trying to figure out what I can do to use my skills and my knowledge and my expertise to find my dream career. And, I had the same struggles as you, the same concerns, same stresses. I get the same pressures from internally of, I'm getting older, what job am I going to have? Or, the same pressures from society or families, or the same questions of, when you're going to settle down, when you're going to stop traveling, when you're going to find a real job. And, I can relate to that. I had the same experiences, I was in your same exact spot. And I too grew up in an era of technological advances in technology and in-depth knowledge and experience of the online and social media world too. So I completely relate to your desires of wanting to, maybe start your own business if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, or not wanting to stick to a 9-to-5 job. Like I am right in that same feeling with you guys. And I'm not the same traditional way of life. Like I didn't want just to graduate from university and get a career and have a family and buy a house and get a dog. Like, well, I love dogs, but like I do, but I wanted something more than just like that same pattern. So I just blocked out all the noise of everyone asking me why this, why that, why not this, when you're gonna do that, and I followed my gut and followed my heart, and it led me to my dream career and my dream lifestyle. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys. So I understand and relate to the desires and the struggles of those just entering university, like I mentioned, those with a deep yearning to travel the world. Because I too was like, I have no clue how I'm going to be able to travel, before I started as a backpacker. And I figured it out, and I'm here to help you guys figure out a lot of things too for yourself. People who want to have a career that makes them feel fulfilled and provides value to the world. That's exactly two of the things that I was looking for in a career. I wanted to be able to make a difference in people's lives. I wanted to, stand out, and I wanted to be unique, and I wanted to, really just align my values and my career with what I loved. And I understand and relate to men and women who want to live a life of balance, of freedom, of happiness, of value, and prosperity. Because who doesn't want that? And as an online entrepreneur and a travel coach, I was gonna say, so as an online entrepreneur or travel coach, so some of the benefits, like I went over some of them before, would be to be able to work from anywhere in the world that you want, and to create your own schedule, to be your own boss, to feel fulfilled, and to challenge yourself, and to become something, and to be something more in life, and to offer something that helps people and to solve people's problems. And so one of the really good things about becoming a travel coach is that you don't need to have any specific certification. So like I mentioned a little bit about becoming a travel agent, you have to have a certain certification. But as a travel coach, you don't. And a lot of people might say, well, anyone can call themselves a coach then. Well, yeah, that's true. So if you are someone who has a certain transformation in your life, you learned a lesson, you learned something big in life, you went from point A to point Z in your life, and you want to be able to, and you learned a lot, and you want to help others accomplish or achieve the same thing or something similar, yeah, you can coach them, you can teach them, and that's exactly what I'm here to do. I went from just a traveler, a backpacker, a blogger, and being completely unsure of what career path I was on. And I knew what I wanted in life, I knew what I didn't want in life, but I didn't know what that all meant. And I'm here to coach and help others to accomplish the transformation that I achieved. And so as a coach, you don't have to have a special certification or certificate or a plaque on the wall saying that I took this training or anything like that to be able to help someone. It's like, as a coach, you dig deep and you figure out like what helped me that I can help others do. And it's the same thing with life coaches and business coaches who learned how to build a business, teach people how to do. And you don't have to have a huge following. A lot of people think like, I can't start a business because no one's who's gonna read my stuff, or I don't have any Instagram followers, I don't have a big Facebook page, I don't have a big email list or anything like that. That doesn't matter, you guys. Like, so everyone starts at zero somewhere, right? Like, no one just starts at Instagram and has automatically 100,000 followers or a Facebook page with 20,000 likes. Like, everyone starts from somewhere, and it doesn't matter like how long it takes you to get there if you never start, right? You don't have to. A lot of people think that in order to start their own business, that they have to make a big investment. They have to have a lot of money. Well, people say, I hear excuses all the time from clients saying, well, I can't start a business because, I'm in my 9-to-5 job. I'll work it for another year and then I can start a business to save money. That's an excuse, you guys. Like, it's just another excuse, and it's only preventing you from taking that leap that it takes and making that change that you know that you want in life, but you're not willing and ready to take because you're too scared. And so that's where excuses come in. You're too scared. So you say, I can't afford it, or I'm not going to be good enough, or, I don't have enough money yet, or anything like that. And that's not going to get you anywhere. Like, you have to be ready to take the leap. Another thing is, you don't, as a travel coach starting a business, you don't have to have a fancy logo or a big website. A lot of people get scared. Like, I don't know how to build a website. I don't know how to be this or that. And the next thing is, you don't have to be super tech savvy. Like, a lot of people are like, I don't know anything about starting like an online business. You start somewhere, right? And the best thing is, as a travel coach, you don't have to have any of those things. So I'll go over that in a minute of why I actually, like, I built a full online or a full website when I first started, and that's something I didn't need to do. And if I could take it back, I wouldn't do it. So I'll talk more about that to you. You don't have to be an expert in design. You don't have to be, there's so many things that you don't need to do that a lot of people use as excuses of not getting started because they feel like, that's not me. I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't have that money. I don't have that ability. And you're not following what your heart really wants. And so you have to overcome those objections. You have to go face those fears. You have to turn off those voices in your head, those noises in your head saying that I can't do this, I can't do that, or pushing it off. It's like people who want to start a diet on Monday. I'll do it on Monday. Well, why not do it today? Like, take that leap today and make that change today. And that's what you need to do if you want to start your own business or make a change in your life. Because I know that if I never took the leap and took the time and dedication to make that change in my life, I'd still be stuck at where I was before. I'd still be traveling and being completely unsure and feeling like maybe I should just settle for a regular corporate job. Maybe I should just go back to work or go back home and, do what I'm supposed to be doing. But I knew that I didn't want that. So I knew I had to make a difference or make a change in my life in order to achieve or accomplish what it was that I really truly wanted. So, and the last thing is, you don't even have to know what your niche or your specialty is. So, one of the 6 strategies of a travel coach is to figure out like what your niche or your audience is, what people appeal to. people are like, I don't know what I can do. I don't know what transformation I had or what I can help people with. You don't have to know that. I help you as a travel coach and a business coach. I am here to help you figure that out. My program helps you figure that out. You don't have to know right off the bat who exactly you're speaking to or what specialty or what sets you apart. My program is designed to help you figure that out. If you have some sort of travel experience or expertise or knowledge or passion, something that's driving you to want to have a career that involves your travel experience, your travel knowledge, that says something. You have something already there. You just have to dig a little bit deeper and figure out what exactly that is. So I know that I mentioned the 6 strategies to that my program is based off of. The framework of my program is based off of, and so I just want to mention those real quick. So one is so you can write these down. Right? One is to solve a common problem. 2 is to speak to a specific audience. 3 is to leverage your story. 4 is to deliver value. 5 is to stay true to yourself. And 6 is to be strategic. So I know I went over those kind of quickly, but I'm going to go over them again as we go through this remainder of this masterclass, okay? So I know I talked a little bit about finding your niche and your specialty. So I'm going to dig deep into the tools and the resources and the skills that's in my program, and to help hopefully provide you guys with some value and can take away and get started today on getting a little bit more clarity and perspective on whether becoming a travel coach is for you and where to even freaking begin, right? So it's really important to start with your niche, your specialty. So some of the things that you can do to figure out your niche or your specialty are to figure out what problems did I run into when I was traveling, or what is a big transformation that occurred in my life? What is something that changed my life? What is a big lesson that I learned? What is something that I saw a lot of people have problems with or face issues on when I was traveling? What is something that there isn't an answer to yet? What is something that that really spoke to me or gave me a new perspective on something? And so when finding your niche or your specialty, you want to figure out what is and this ties into solving the common problem. When you solve the common problem that a lot of people have, that's the whole basis on becoming a coach, right? You're offering a transformation, you're offering a solution to a common problem, and that's what you're helping someone to get from a point A to point Z in their life, and the steps that they need to take to achieve that. So when you solve a common problem and you're finding the niche, those are the people, that's the area, the market that you're speaking to that have this problem, that have this who could use your services, who could use your help, who can use whatever product that you produce. And that's your specialty. What are you, a travel photographer, and that's your specialty, and teaching people how to capture the best photos? Are you a solo female traveler and you're teaching women how to go on their first travel solo trip on their own? What is your specialty? What is your niche? What was something you accomplished or you mastered so much during your travels that you want to be able to help someone else do? So a little bit, like I said, that tied into solving a common problem. You don't have a business if you don't solve a problem. When you think about the most successful businesses or products, it could be not even in the coaching industry or online world, just even a product, something that it could be the dumbest thing and it makes millions of dollars and everyone has it in their household. It's because it solved a common problem. A lot of people had this issue, or a lot of people wanted it, or a lot of people wanted it and didn't know that they wanted it until they saw it, right? And that's what you're supposed to do as a coach. You are here to tell people that I know you have this problem, or you might have this problem, or you've come across this problem. This is the solution for it. I hold the ticket to that solution. I have the product, the service. I have the key to you getting the answer that you want for that solution, and I'm going to help you achieve that, or I'm going to help you accomplish that, or I'm going to help you get it, okay? So that is some things to think about when coming up with your niche or your specialty. A little trick that you can use is if you already have a blog or a travel blog or a platform where you create some sort of content and you have an analytics on it. So if you have, for instance, I realized in my travel blog that a lot of people are really looking how to travel the world on a budget, right? Like, because I went to my Google Analytics, I have like, I don't know, like 40, 50, 60 blog posts over the years. I don't know how many. And the analytics will put them in order for you on the most popular, the most read down to the least read. And my top ones are always ones regarding traveling the world on a budget, how to afford to travel on a budget, how to travel. And my most popular one is actually called How to Travel the World When You Can't Afford to. And that, when you have a blog or you have something you can look at the analytics or the results to, or it could be a Facebook post and the responses to a question you have or anything like that. It shows that that is what people are looking for. It shows that there is a need for this or a want for this, and it's a great way to kind of jumpstart what your niche could be, your specialty could be. So having a blog or reading your analytics could be a little trick that you can use to help figure out what kind of niche or specialty you have. If you don't have a blog or you don't have any content or anything, then create one. Start a blog and put 5 topics out there, and put your heart and soul into those 5 topics and make a variation in the topics, and then track the analytics and see what people are most common for, more popular for. Another way to do that is to kind of figure out what other niche and specialties that are desired or where voids lie, is to do your market research. So you can do be active in forums or create a survey. You can go into Facebook groups and ask questions. Just talk to people, get answers. Look, like, there's always people looking for an answer for something, and if you don't already know what your niche or specialty could be, then go and find it, right? You have to figure out what your core message is. So a way that you can do that is use this this kind of structure of a sentence. You can say, I help people who blank to do blank so they can do or achieve blank, which will help bring or allow them this blank. So for instance, okay, I know that was kind of confusing. So for instance, about me, I help people turn their love and their passion for travel into a profit so they can achieve their desired lifestyles of working from anywhere in the world and financial freedom as a travel coach. So you want to get really clear on what your core message is when you are starting your business as a travel coach. And that will, with knowing your niche and your specialty, will really, really help you out with your messaging. And the reason that I say specific is because it's super, super important to be as specific as you can through the entire process of starting a business and being a coach, because the more specific you are, the more likely you are more likely to target your specific clients, your specific seekers, your specific people who you're talking to, and that is more likely going to help you grow your business and get traction than it is if you try to appeal to a broad mass of people. And you might have already heard the saying that if you try to appeal to everyone, you'll appeal to no one, or you try to sell to everyone, you end up selling to no one, and that's super true. So that's by finding a specific niche and a specific specialty helps you then go onto your specific target market, goes to your specific core message. So the keyword here is specific. And if you aren't quite sure on how to be specific, play around with different ideas. Get a piece of paper and brainstorm, throw it all on there, and toy around with what sounds better, or if you feel like you appeal to different people, then narrow it down or be specific for each of those personas. So I think I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but I'll talk about what it means to find your ideal persona. So if you have an ideal client, you might have different types of ideal clients, and those are called personas. So for instance, as a travel coach, my services, my products can appeal to travel bloggers, travel agents, people who just graduated university, travel moms who love to travel with their kids. Like, these are all specific personas of people who are travel influencers, people who can appeal or be interested in my products and my services or my abilities. But I have to know who exactly each of these personas are so that I can talk to them specifically, right? Each of these types of personas are going to look at content differently. They're going to talk differently. What we call your clients, your target your audience language, sorry, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Like each of them are going to react differently. Each of them are going to use different social media networks or platforms differently. Each of them are going to want something different, or be willing to pay something different. Like you have to know specifically who all your personas are in order to know exactly who you're talking to and how to approach them, right? So you don't have to have one specific ideal client. You can have certain personas, but be really specific and know whether those are people who actually want your products, need your products, and are willing to invest in your products, right? Because otherwise you're going to be wasting time. And another reason personas are really important to really, really be specific on is going to help you into your marketing. So if you're paying for Facebook ads, you're going to want to know, you're not going to want to just throw an ad out there that just speaks to everyone who's your ideal client or in your industry. You want to speak to specific client or specific personas if you have different personas, right? So that you can reach them specifically and speak directly to them, per se. So figuring out your ideal client and your target audiences. If you're still trying to figure out who those people are, play around, like I said, in Facebook forums, see what kind of interaction you get. Go to Facebook groups, or online forums, Facebook groups, and just spend time in there and learn people. Figure out who's hanging out in these areas, or what are their wants, what are their desires, what language do they use. Okay, so when I say language, I mean those are the words, the literal words that people use. I'm not talking about like English, Spanish, French, not that kind of language. It could be, but like the specific terms that people use. So for instance, if I'm trying to talk to someone in the medical field, I'm going to use words that are completely different from someone who I'm talking as a blogger, right? Or a travel blogger. Like they're not going to use the same terminology. You want to use what language is being spoken or used in that specific persona or that specific client or type of person. So in order to find ways to find your specific language, you can, like I said, play around in Facebook groups or online forums, and you see kind of words are used. Read other blogs, or use search engine optimization. So SEO is another great way to figure that out. A little trick to do that is to go into your Google search bar. You can also do this on Pinterest or YouTube, because Pinterest and YouTube are also used as search engines, not necessarily social networks. And you can go into the search bar and start typing out your specific words. So for instance, I could say travel, and don't hit enter or anything. Let the drop box come down, or the drop list come down, and it could say like travel destinations, travel bloggers, travel advice. Like these are all top topics that people are Googling or researching, or that among all the others. So if you use this in something like in Pinterest or YouTube, that shows that that's what people are searching for the most, right? So that shows that there's a desire or want for these areas. So that's just a little trick to help you with SEO when it comes to like market research. So you also want to target your target seekers. So you may have heard me say the word seeker before. So when I say word seeker, I mean your ideal client. And the reason I use seeker is because there's someone who is seeking what you offer and what you provide, right? The value that you provide, the information, the guidance you provide. These are people, they may not already know yet, but they're my seekers. They're my clients. They're the people who are looking for specifically what I provide. And so I like to use the word seekers. So you might hear me change that up with clients or audience or anything like that. So targeting your target seekers, you want to be able to test the market before you put a product or service out there, or a niche, or you're gung-ho on a certain specialty or niche. Test the market. Ways to do that, like I mentioned before, is post something in a Facebook group, get feedback, see people's reactions, see how many likes or comments you get on it. Put a blog post up, track the traction on it. Go into an online forum and put a comment or get involved with the conversation on there. You want to test the market and see if it's something desirable or wanted before you put the time and energy into providing it, right? Because then if it's something that you're not getting much feedback from, or interaction or positive feedback of, then you might want to move on and try something else. And that's totally okay. It's just going to help you get one step closer to figuring out what you're really truly meant to help someone with, right? You want to figure out, like I said, are they motivated to finding this solution? If you're offering a solution to a problem that no one has, you're wasting your time. You want to be able to provide a solution that people are looking for. And then don't assume that everyone knows who you are, what you represent, what your values are, what products you sell, what you talk about. That's why, like, I wanted to clarify what it meant to be a travel coach, because I don't want to assume that you know what it means to be a travel coach, because most likely you didn't know. And that's okay. I didn't know either. I get people ask me all the time, what exactly is a travel coach? And that's one of the key reasons why I wanted to create this masterclass, because I want to be able to provide that clear information and this value for you guys. And then targeting your target seeker, also to track your audience, and do that in ways through your Facebook Insight button on your Facebook page, going to your Google Analytics, going to your Twitter dashboard. All of these areas are literal areas that you can go and track the analytics and to see who your demographics are, see where the most people who are looking at your stuff is coming from, what country, what age group are they in, are they men, are they women. This is really valuable information to help you narrow down who your personas are, or your ideal client or your seekers are, right? And that's all going to come in handy when you provide a product or a service or into your marketing, so you know exactly how to solve, or what you're solving, or what how to talk to your audience. Like, it's all this you guys is the foundation to creating and starting your own online travel coaching business and becoming a travel coach. You have to know who your ideal client is, your target audience is, what your niche is, what your specialty is, and there's so many ways to figure that out, like the tracking your audience and Google Analytics and testing your market and stuff like that. I talked about, and then you want to figure out what your clients or your seekers' pain points are. That's a huge thing, you guys. So if you don't know what a pain point is specific desires or problems that your seekers are having. For instance, like, if I wanted to talk about the pain points of a travel blogger's pain points would be something in the realm of they're tired of stressing out trying to find their next company or sponsor to make money, or the next affiliate to make money, or they're tired of working countless hours on creating content and not getting enough money in return, or not enjoying their travels and spending too much time working on their writing their content or producing content. Or a travel blogger's pain point could be that they're feeling lost in altering their original voice in order to suit other in order to make money from other publications or sponsors or affiliates, and in return they're not feeling genuine or authentic and really truly optimizing on what initially made them want to start a travel blog in the first place. And then as a travel agent, some of the pain points could be you're going from brick and mortar to the online world, and you're not sure how to do that. You're not sure how to appeal to a younger audience than you're used to. You're not super tech savvy, and you don't know how to optimize on social media as a travel agent. Don't know how to stand out among your competition on the online world as a travel agent. These are all pain points. These are problems that people are having. So as a travel coach, you want to be able to identify the pain points that your ideal clients and seekers that they have, right? So as a travel coach, I know that some of the pain points that you had, because of the pain points I had, are to, I'm struggling to find my ideal career, that I want to, work from anywhere in the world. I want to, optimize on my, or exercise my desire to start my own business. I want to, have financial freedom and not struggle as just a freelancer or a digital nomad. I want to use my knowledge and my passion for travel and become, start my own career, but I didn't know what that was. I wanted to, finally have a career versus just traveling and stressing and working small job to small job that really got me nowhere than just a temporary, income or temporary fix, right? So those are some of the pain points, and pain points are super important. And I talk a lot more on ways to figure out what pain points your clients are in my program. So another thing is called what I like to call social listening and investigating. So that's a little bit what I talked about before, which is just listening to what people want, right? Listen to what people are talking about in social groups, on Facebook groups, and on forums, or in person. Like when I was traveling and I was a backpacker, I was in hostels. I was talking to people, other travelers, and asking them questions. What made you want to travel? Why did you quit your job? Are you going to go back to your same job? What's your ideal job? What do you want out of life? Did you just graduate school? Like, do you have a degree? Do you not know what to use with your degree? That I was investigating. I was figuring out as much as I can learn about people. And that's what you want to do in the social listening sense of the online world and social networks. And then also the investigation side of really digging deep into learning as much as you can about people and your audience and your niche, right? Because then the more specific you can get, the more likely you're going to really, really know how to talk to your specific seeker, your target audience, and really, grow your business and, become someone. So in your seeker's perspective is key. So your seeker's perspective, your client's perspective is like the golden ticket that tells you exactly what you need to offer or provide as a service or a product, right? So if like you want to know exactly who your seeker is, your ideal client is, in order to know exactly what they want, so you know how to produce something to solve exactly what they want an answer for, right? So the more social listening and investigating that you do, the closer you're going to get to knowing exactly what perspective your seeker has, so you know exactly what to offer them, right? Some other ways to do that is to go through, create a survey. You can do that for free in Google Docs, or like a website like SurveyMonkey has a free site, free surveys to create. You want to do your market research, and in result, doing the social listening and investigating ultimately is going to help you increase your conversions, meaning you're going to know how to not only reach your target audience, but you're going to know how to convert them into a paying client, right? And that's your ultimate goal at building a business. You're going to also, it helps with knowing who your audience is and who your audience isn't. So that's really key, guys. Like, you don't only want to know who exactly you are selling or offering something to. You want to know who you're not selling or offering something to. You want to know who your clients are not. Because when you are very clear on who you're not, you can get even clearer on who you are serving, right? Did that make any sense? If not, then write to me and let me know if that didn't make any sense. And then you want to connect with it. Also connects you, or another trick to do is to connect with the already existing platforms in order to grow your audience. So what I mean by that is that you can connect with someone who already has the audience that you're seeking, right? So if someone has the group of ideal clients or seekers that you have, then learn everything you can about them, right? Like, learn exactly what they do and what they did, how they do it, and if they're not at a level where you're a direct competitor, then partner with them. Like, appear on their blog, or appear on their podcast, or do some sort of collaboration with them, because they already have the audience that you seek, and it's just a nice way to like get even further a lot faster. So it's a nice way to work smarter and not harder, guys. And then I already mentioned speaking your client's language, which is super, super popular. Another little way, well, I'm going to talk about how to stand out among your competition, but one of the tricks, because I just talked about speaking your seeker's language, is to create your own terminology, create your own language, right? So how more unique is that than to create it for yourself? So that's why I use words like seeker and stuff like that, because those are my term. And social listening and investigating, that's my, people are gonna, it helps with your brand. It helps people know that this is you, this is who, that's Sahara Rose. That's what she talks about. That's what she calls her clients, and that's the people that she targets are her seekers, and it helps with you trying to figure out, how to establish yourself and your brand and set yourself apart. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about setting yourself apart from others in just a minute, okay? I just kind of got a little bit ahead of the game. And then And then delivering value. Delivering value is another one of the 6 strategies. And this is super, it's getting really dark in here, isn't it, you guys? Hold on one second. The snow is melting. No, I'm just kidding. So delivering value is another something that is really, really important when starting or becoming a coach, and that's exactly what I'm doing here in my masterclass. Like, I want to be of so much value to you guys that you literally can't stand me, right? Not literally, but yeah, kind of close. I want to be so much value to you guys. I want you to be able to like use whatever I teach you to go and like take action and to, you know, get your wheels turning and to spark interest and to, you know, like have hands-on tools and resources that you can use to get you one step closer to accomplishing whatever travel goals or whatever career goals you might have, right? So when you deliver value just to people, to your audience, like that's a way for them to completely understand that like who you are, what you can offer them, what value you are to them, and what they can come to you for answers for. What they know that if they came to your platform, to your Facebook page, to your Instagram, to your blog, to your videos, they'll know what kind of information they can get and that you're going to answer something for them and that you're going to help them in some way, right? That's the point of offering value. A lot of people are really scared to offer free information and value because they feel like, you know, if I give too much free information away, who's going to want to buy my products? Who's going to buy my services? Like, you know, I am not going to give everything away for free. That's not the case, you guys, right? Like, people always, it doesn't matter how much free information you give away, people are always going to want more help, either implementing it or, you know, with the development stage or how to actually like go about using the information that you gave them, right? So it's just like the internet. So people like may say all the time, like, what's the point of offering, you know, becoming a travel coach if, you know, I can Google online how to travel the world on a budget? Well, yeah, then why do people still ask me? Like, why are people still Googling? They already know and the information's already out there. It's because they don't exactly know how to use and implement the information that they obtained in an effective way, right? To get the results that they're looking for. So that's the point of delivering value. So you want to just be of as much value as you can. And whatever value that rings true to yourself, whatever value you value the most, provide that to someone. And, you know, it will grow your following, to get people to talk about you, to people will share your information with others. It's a great way to grow and build your business and your following if you're being of value to someone. Some ways that you can now deliver value are things like Facebook Live videos, masterclasses like this, webinars, free trainings, give a free course. In my program, I give a whole list of ways to be of value to someone. And, you know, post a Facebook post of, you know, giving, you know, really helpful tips, or, you know, the top 5 tips to do this, the 6 strategies to do this, or, you know, be of value to someone. Do a Facebook Live, like a little clip if you want to, of like tip of the day, or, you know, a full, you know, hour training on something in a certain area. Help with the mindset change that you need to do with whatever you're helping with. Like, be of some sort of value to people, because the more value you provide, the more free information you provide, the more people are going to be drawn and attracted to you, right? Like, if you work from your heart, if you deliver from your heart and what you truly love and what, you know, where, you know, what resonates best with you, the universe is not going to let you fail, you guys. Like, there is no chance that you are going to fail in life if you truly use what you love and what, like, where your values lie, and you deliver that and you help others. Like, if you help others, like, you're not going to fail. Like, in no way. You may not make, you know, the same income as someone else, or you may not, you know, achieve whatever as someone else, but like, there's no way that you're going to fail at all in life if you just speak from the heart and deliver value and help others in some way that you know that means a lot to you, right? So some things you have to think about, guys, though, and it's really, really, really important, is to figure out whether you're even ready to start your own business. That's huge, because the online coaching industry, like coaches don't want to work with someone who is not 100% willing and ready to make a change in their life, right? Like why would you want to work with someone like in any aspect who's not really willing to or ready to make that change? Like for instance, like my mom's a real estate agent. Like if she had a client who's not really ready to buy a house, like she's going to be struggling to try to sell or find you something that you really like if it's not really what you're ready to do or wanting to do, right? It's the same thing for the coaching industry. So as a coach, you want to be able to figure out like if you're or as like a traveler, you have to figure out really if you're ready and willing to take that leap and make that step and that change in your life to start your own business, because it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, it takes dedication, and you have to be ready to do that and put in the time and the work, because growing a business is not like magic. It doesn't just happen overnight. So just like, remember in the beginning of this masterclass when I was talking about what this masterclass is not going to be about, what I'm not going to talk about, when I talked about like I'm not going to be throwing fluff at you and numbers at you or anything like that. So this is another point. Like I am not going to sit here and say like you're going to become a millionaire in 30 days and or have 100,000 in the bank in 30 days if and if you start a business as a travel coach. Like it's not like it doesn't work at all. That's where like the online scams and all that yucky icky feelings come from, and gives a lot of the online world business world a bad rap. But that's not what I'm here to do. Like that's not me. It's not my values. It's not where any sort of anything in my heart lies. Like I'm not going to tell that to you because I know it's not true. Like it's going to take work. Like it takes time. You have to dedicate certain times every day or certain times of the week to do what you want to accomplish. So I'm not saying that you can't have a 9-to-5 job, because you 100% can have a 9-to-5 job or a regular job or a side job when you're starting a business completely. But you have to take the time to start a business, to do the work. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen on its own. And if you are a serious business owner, you have to act like a serious business owner. And if you want to grow something you love, you have to give it the love and passion that you think it's worth. And who's going to value your business if you don't value your business, right? If you're not 100% happy with what you provide and what service you give, who is going to be 100% happy with it if you're not, right? So taking a step back and asking yourself, like, am I ready and willing to start my own online business is a big like first step to take, right? Okay, and then you have to figure out what's holding you back. So I kind of went over some of the objections that people put up when they that prevents them from taking the leap and starting their business. Like you may have this, so you have this a burning desire to start an online business. You want to make a change in your life. You want to have your dream career. You have so many wants and desires and goals and everything, but you aren't making a change. Like you're not taking the step that's necessary to make that happen, right? And so you have to figure out like what is holding you back. Like what's preventing you from doing it? Is it your fears? Are you worried about money? Are you worried about like what your partner is going to say or think? Are you worried what your family is going to think of you? Do you have a full job right now and you're worried what effect that's going to take on it? Are you not confident enough? These are things that you have to figure out what's holding you back and then figure out ways to overcome that. And so as a coach, part of my job is to help you overcome that too, guys. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. If you say, hey, like I am stuck, like I'm afraid like it's going to cost me so much to start a business and I don't have the money to start to do it. And like, what's your opinion? I'll answer that right here and now. Like you don't have to have a big initial investment, like I said before, to start a business. Like it is one of the beauties of starting your own online business is it's completely up to you how you want to start and customize your business. So I know I mentioned before, like one of the first things I did was create a full website. You don't need it, even though it only costs like $10 a year or something on, Bluehost, but you don't have to do that. I could have saved myself time. And that's some of the things I talk about in my program is how to save you time and money from my learning from the mistakes that I made. Am I glad I did had the website? Yeah, it's done and it's over and stuff, and you can always tweak it. But you don't have to do that right away. and that's something you can save money on. Another thing is, for instance, for my online program, I created on the platform called Teachable. So on Teachable, they were offering a dollar for the first month or something. So I was like, oh no, I don't want that to go away. So I jumped on it, and then it goes up to like 99 a month or something. So for the whole month that I paid $1, I didn't spend 1 minute on Teachable because I was figuring out like my whole foundation of my business before I even created a program. So I wish I didn't jump on that right away, because like the deal didn't go away. It's one of their marketing little tricks. But like I didn't get to enjoy my $1 for the first month, or the free first month of creating my program, because I was like too busy. Like I was focusing on other things. So it's something that I didn't have to jump in and invest in or to act on right away. So these are some little things that lessons that I learned, and ways to save time and money that I provide to my clients. And some of the things you have to figure out, some of the things that are like questions that are filling your head. So, for instance, for me, some of the questions that filled my head when I was starting a business were not only like, what can I teach? What can I, what transformation did I have? What solution can I provide? Like I mentioned before, but I also was like, can I even do this? Like when am I going to make some money? Like, am I good enough? Like, who's going to want to listen to me? Who's going to buy my products? Who's going to pay for anything I sell? Like, these are all questions in my head. Like, and even the technical aspect, I was like, how do I even build a website? Like, what program do I use platform do I use to create a course or a program on? What, like, what's a marketing funnel? Like, how do I grow my Facebook group? Like, what social media network do I use? Like, how do I write to people in a Facebook post? Like, all these questions. I was like, what the heck? And like, through my time of figuring it all out, I weeded through the good and the bad information, and I'm so excited to be putting all my favorite information, not only in this masterclass, but in my program, because this masterclass is only a small taste of what my program is, guys. But it's all in my program, and I'm so excited to share that with you, because it saves you so much time and energy and money and headaches that I had to go through in order to provide the best product to my clients and to my students from my program. So it's, like I said before, it's like the golden ticket that I wish that I was given, like when I first started, even wanting to mesh my love for travel with starting a business. So even though like I went through all that, I'm so glad that I did, so I can now help you prevent that and save time and energy and money and stuff like that. Another thing, so you want to, I know you heard me say aligning your values a lot, but it's really, really true. So you have to figure out where you're like, where can you align your values with your love and your passion and your desires for a career. So that's like key formula for you to figure out what you're meant to be doing as a career, right? You want to figure out like what vision you have, like get that set in stone, get a piece of paper and write that down. Like if you don't have it like clear right now, just jot all this information down and say like, what kind of vision do I have? Like, where do I see myself as a business person? What kind of business do I see myself doing? Like, what do I think like what's an ideal career for me? What, like, create like this picture of like just this manifestation of this dream career for you, and like what kind of like person do you want to be, like, what kind of business person do you want to be, what kind of mentor or coach do you want to be, how do you want to help people, like create this vision on a piece of paper and then narrow it down and get it focused, and that will help you go into your core message, like I mentioned before, of what exactly you do, what you teach, how you do it in the structure that you provide it in. So you really want to focus on aligning your values, like dig deep and figure out what's important to you, what matters to you most, what doesn't matter to you most. And that helps you get closer to figuring out like what you're meant to do and what you're meant to teach and how you're meant to help others, right? Like for instance, I know that like this sounds kind of silly, but I absolutely love dogs, and like as a traveler around the world, it's always really hard for me to see like all the stray dogs and homeless dogs and stuff. And so I'm like, so one of the things I manifest for myself and I envision myself for a business person and is to have my own organization, to be able to help the stray dogs on the streets in many countries, or help find them homes and stuff like that. So like that's like a big vision that I have, because it's something that aligns with my values and my heart, that I learned not only through travel, but I know that like it means a lot to me. So it's something kind of silly and a little bit like minuscule. I mean, it's not silly, but maybe a little bit off topic, but it's just something that like I envision for myself, to be able to like bring like with success, because you don't want to just you don't want to desire and hope for money. Like some people are like, I want to win the lottery, I want to win $1 million. Like that doesn't, like, what are you going to do with that money? Like if you don't have a plan for the money, and I don't mean like how many cars you're going to buy, like how many houses you're going to buy, like that's just material stuff that like the universe doesn't agree with that in the long run. Like the world, the universe wants, the energy wants to radiate with like your heart and your energy and your what are you going to put into the world, right? So if you say I want to win the lottery and I want to win $1 million or something, like you have to have a game plan, a good game plan of what you're going to do with that money. And then like the more you manifest the positivity in that, the good energy in that, the more likely the universe is going to give you closer to what you desire. I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery, but you know, it's like putting good energy and thoughts out there, like you'll get that back in return. And something I actually got a lot through my travels, and something I talk about is like what I call my travel angels. I've always tried to be someone who is a little bit off topic, but I've always tried to be someone who does the right thing or helps others, no matter if it's like give a little bit of change on the street that I have, or buy someone a meal, or all these like little things. Not only during my travels, but like in life in general. But I saw the results of it as I was traveling, because there's so many times that I had what I call my travel angels, who have helped me in some way. So I call my angels, because sometimes like I didn't know who that person was, or I never saw them or talked to them again, but they helped me in some way. So whether like they gave me, I didn't have enough cash for like a bus and I really needed to get somewhere, or I needed a ride to the airport. One time a lady gave me a ride and I had no clue who she was, and she was so sweet, and I was in a town that there was like there was no taxis or anything, and my flight was leaving in an hour. And it was in like the south of France. Like these are, and like a girl let me sleep like upstairs in her parents' attic, like this nice young girl, and she had no clue who I was, and I had nowhere to stay, and it's like midnight in Paris. Like one of my first backpacking trips, and so it's like these are people, my travel angels, and I feel like the more positivity you put out there, the more you'll get in return. And it's the same thing to implement into your business, right? And that's why like one thing that intrigues people to become a coach is that you're able to help people, help others. So then we want to talk about staying true to yourself is another thing to really, really take into consideration when you build a business, because there's many times you're going to feel lost or stuck or something like that, and you're not going to you're gonna like just feel like in a rut. Like you're gonna be like, what direction am I going in? Like, can I even do this? Like so many things are gonna go through your head. But if you dial it back and always go back to what stays true to yourself, like what resonates most with your heart, then it'll put you back on track, right? So a little bit of time and just focusing on what stays true to yourself, you will get back on track. Because trust me, it helped me so many times. Like if you need to, write on the top of the page, like what exactly your goal for your coaching, what you're teaching, what you're trying to do, like what is true to you. If you write that on top of the page and you keep going back to it every time you feel stuck, I promise it will help you. And then we want to talk about a little bit about branding. So branding is very complex. There's different levels to branding. So branding, one could be like the visual branding. So that's like branding like your logo, your website, and stuff like that. So like I said before, like you don't necessarily have to have a fancy logo or a website or anything. Those can be just time consuming and can take up a lot of people's time, and take time away from people actually dedicating their energy and time into doing stuff that's going to ultimately make the money, or developing what like their dream product or program is, or something like that. It's just stuff like it's a distraction is what I like to call it, when people take too much time on a logo or something. Not saying it's not important, but there's other things that you can focus on that are much better than stuff like that. So for instance, like I said, my website, I didn't have to build a full website. Like I could have focused on other things first, but I did it, and I learned from it. So with branding, I like to call what you build your pillars. So the pillars are the foundation, just like a foundation that holds up the structure of a house. With branding, you want to build the pillars to the foundation of your business and your core values as a coach. So I'd like to say come up with 3 or 4 pillars for your brand, for your business, and that really resonates with other people. And those are, when you build your brand, you want to think of the messages and the things that people talk about when they're talking about you and your brand. So if someone were sitting in a coffee shop talking about someone that I saw online, so this girl, Sahara Rose, I saw online, like she does travel coaching, she's been to 75 countries by 8 to 30. She helps people turn their passion for travel into a profit. Her program, like this is her program, like these are the pillars that you want to talk, you want people to talk and repeat about you. So take some time to think about like what those could be when you're developing your brand. So I'll also talk about the visuals. Sorry, I mentioned like the logo and the website, but the visuals also like the colors that you use in your brand, the fonts that you use in your brand, like consistency. You want to be able to someone to like see something and be like, yeah, that's her or that's him. Like that's like I know that's their brand. You want to use consistent graphics and images. Like it takes time. Play around with them and get different reactions and see what rings true to you and what makes you feel good. But in the long run, that's what you want to do is have consistency when it comes to your branding, your visual branding. So back to like more of like the other type of branding that's not like visual, and that goes also into like you want to feed your seeker's identity. So when you develop a brand, you want to develop it for a specific person in mind, right? So you want to think about who your ideal client is and who your seekers are, and like feed their ego, speak directly to that person. Like I know that they are attracted to like this or like this is the brand that I'm developing because I'm targeting them. So that's something else to keep in mind when also developing your brand. Your story is a huge part of that, right? So the point of having a really strong story is that you're going to build on emotion, build connection. You're going to attract the right people who resonate with you and your story. Your brand is your story too. Like it's not only your visual, your picture, your logo, your website. Your brand is your story, your transformation that got you from point A to point now, right? So now since we're on the point of, well, I'll talk more about your power of your story in just a second. So going over the branding is still something else I call the repetition effect. So it's kind of like the pillars where I mentioned like it's something that you want people to repeat about you. You want to take the repetition effect in for yourself. And this is something I came up with because I find it so true. The importance of repeating information. It can also tie into delivering value. It's the point of delivering information multiple times. You can do this in multiple ways, but the core message of the information stays the same. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that developing, or you want to repeat information in multiple ways because the more someone hears it, the more likely they're going to remember it, right? So whether it's something they see on a Facebook post and then they see it like change a little bit in an Instagram post, or you see the content on your blog, or you repeat it in a video, or you repeat it multiple times in a video, you repeat it in different videos. So whatever your core messages are, your core value is, you want to repeat that information because you want people to remember this most about you, right? And then using, like I mentioned before, your own terminology. I say stuff like seekers, and I have the repetition effect, stuff like that. It helps you stand out among your competition too. Building your brand messaging, you could do this through things like videos or podcasts, webinars, emails, live videos, and your blogs. There's many avenues that you can use to develop your brand messaging and get your messages out there and develop your brand on. You don't have to do all of them. I know it can be quite overwhelming. Do what makes you feel most comfortable and what you like to do most, right? So so if you're not fully comfortable with videos, you don't have to start off with that. If you're comfortable with a blog, that's where you started with your blog. Well, then stem from your blog, develop your blog more, build your audience on that. If you're a visual person, then create a landing page and build an audience on that. Or if you love talking and sharing your story, do videos or do a podcast, or so whatever makes you most comfortable in the beginning, start with that, but never limit yourself. So if you're not comfortable in videos, and trust me, I'm not, then challenge yourself, put yourself out there, because being visual and consistent in visuality, is that a word? Visuality, and be consistent in visibility is really, really important when it comes to building a business and building your brand. Like, super important, guys. I talk about visual branding, and then now I want to talk about the power of your story. So the power of your story is super, super important. So I mentioned how like your story ties in with the branding. So when you talk about the power of your story, that's what's going to really touch with someone and really have them spark interest in you or connect with you or follow you or want to listen to you, because they relate to you. They find something of themselves in you or your story. And so you want to dig deep and figure out like what transformation I get in my life. What are the lows in my story? What was the breakthrough of my story? What were the pits of my story? How was I like what point was I at when I was at the lowest or the most confused or frustrated? And what happened in my life that helped me overcome that? Or what was my the change that happened in my life? Because that helps you also figure out what transformation you can provide to others and what journey you can help others go on, right? So for instance, like me, I went from just a backpacker trying to figure out what, not knowing what freaking thing I wanted to do in my life as a career, to becoming and starting my own online travel coaching business, and the transformation that I provide for others. So the power of your story is key. You can use it through your core messaging. You can use it through your branding. You can use it through your, your marketing is huge, because I read a statistic online somewhere that said that 70% of people make decisions based on emotion and 30% on their logic or the rationale, which is so true, right? Like, you see all the ads and stuff for other companies. They use like dogs or children to like tug at your heartstrings, and then you can like make a donation or like buy that product or whatnot. Like, it's a marketing not only tactic, because it's so true. Like, a lot of people want to hear, themselves and someone else to know that like if you went through it and you accomplished it and you got this solution, I could probably do that too. It is getting so dark in here, guys. So 1 second, okay? I'm so sorry. It like gets so dark so soon. It's like 4 o'clock. Like, what the heck? Horrible. Anyhow, I'm sorry. I left this like computer so bad or so many times. So that's the power of the story. And I know that it's really hard because being vulnerable is like super tricky, and a lot of people don't like to do it. And trust me, I don't like to do it. Like, I don't like being vulnerable either. Like, who does? Like, why would I want someone to know like who I truly am, or what I really went through, or all the struggles I went through? Like, a lot of people feel shame from it, or feel guilt, or they feel embarrassed. Like, but when you're vulnerable and you put that out there, that's where that's where the best things happen, right, guys? Like, that's when like you're able to help someone else go through the same thing or accomplish something similar. Like, when you're true and you're using your truth and you're being the most vulnerable, that's when you're going to attract the right people who want to learn from you and work with you or be with you or go through your journey or support you and everything like that. Like, you have to try to figure out how to overcome that vulnerability and put that out there, or that fear, and put that out there and be vulnerable. And that's where the power of the story can come in. And then you want to figure out what transformation. I mentioned this a little bit. You want to figure out what transformation you can provide. So I have a little bit of formula. You can write this down. The transformation equals the steps that your clients take plus the structure that you provide. So again, the transformation is the steps that your clients take plus the structure that you provide. And that's the basis, the framework for whatever product that you produce. So for instance, my program is the transformation. So the modules in there are literally the steps that you take to get the solution that you want, the transformation that I'm offering you, or I'm proposing to you. And the structure of it is through this program. The structure is through an online program. The structure is through videos. The structure is through like all the little technical aspects of it, whether it's video or content or workbooks or PDFs and stuff like that. So that's the structure that you provide, and these are the steps that they need to take to accomplish that, to get that transformation that you provide. You want to establish the gap between where your ideal client is now versus where they want to be. I'll repeat that. So you want to establish the gap from where your ideal client is now versus where they want to be. And a little trick that you can do to do that, a little technique, is to write down every single step that you know that they need to take to achieve this transformation. And then number two is you want to group similar ideas together. This will help you with organizing and preventing any repeats. So first, number one, write down every step that someone needs to take to accomplish a certain transformation that you're offering. Two is group together like ideas. And number three, finally, is to eliminate anything else. So anything that doesn't bring focus or doesn't help you narrow down your transformation or your process, then get rid of that, right? So one, write down every step that they take. Group together. Number two is group together like ideas. And number three is eliminate any unwanted ideas. And that will help you get a little bit closer to what full transformation and the steps and process and structure that you will provide to someone. You want to figure out what solution you provide. We went over that a little bit ago. Figure out what common problem you're solving for people, and figure out what structure and what delivery way you can deliver that to someone. And that's the way that you deliver that is through a system or a framework. The system or a framework, like for me, for instance, is my program, the Travel from Passion to Profit. That's my framework, my system that I'm providing people to go from point A to point Z. So you want to figure out what system or framework, what you want to use that works best for you as a travel coach. And so now I'm going to go into a little bit of the different ways that you can offer products or services or structure your business. So business structure, some of the things you want to figure out what programs. And this is one of the great things about being a coach, you guys. You can figure, like, or a business owner and an online coach. Like, it's completely up to you. Whatever makes you happiest and what you enjoy most, that is what you can do to help people and offer your services and your products. Like, you don't have to do like this. Not everyone does the same thing. Not every coach has the same structure for your business. It's whatever makes you feel happiest and most comfortable. So, for instance, you have to figure out what products and services you want to provide. Some people want to do private one-on-one coaching. Some people want to do group programs. Some people want to do like create a online course that's like an online course is just more of like a skill-based, like it's a short skill-based type of like step someone needs to take to learn something. Then there is a signature program, which is what I offer. A signature program takes someone through a full transformation, takes them completely from point A to point Z, like all the steps they need to take in between. And it's going to make a full transformation in their life. That's, for instance, like for me, I help someone take just like a desire or want and a passion for travel and turn it into a full online business that they can have the rest of their lives, make money. You know, it's their career. So you can figure out what it is that you want to do and provide to others. This also ties into figuring out what revenue streams you want to use. So if you want to create like a membership program, you want to create a subscription-based program for someone, you want to put out one course every like 2 months, you want to do one signature program a year, you want to offer one-on-one coaching sessions with someone, or you want to do a combination and do both. Like for instance, my program, I offer 1 hour upon your choice for the 5 weeks that my program takes, that you get a private one-on-one coaching with me. First 50 people do sign up, do get an extra 30 minutes with me though. But some people don't do that with their programs because one-on-one coaching is a premium service. It's taking up their time. It's the coach is offering their personal time to personally talk to you and analyze what you're stuck on, where you need help you overcome whatever hurdle you're on. So a lot of coaches charge like through the roof with these, which is a great, like, it just shows you like the potential that you can have as an online coach as you grow your business. Like there's people who charge as an online coach like $5,000, $2,000 per session per 1 hour, or you know up to like $75,000 for like a month worth of one-on-ones or something. Like it's crazy, right? But it's completely doable. It's up to you, however you customize based on your value you provide, what you know that you can offer to someone, and how much you know that you're worth, right? You want to figure out also like how much is your audience willing to spend and invest. That's another thing to figure out when creating your business and your business structure. In my program, guys, I go over all the stuff when it comes to pricing and packaging, and choosing what product or what services and products are best for you, and how to customize those. Like, it would be a lot if I fit that all into this masterclass. But that's just another important thing you have to figure out is like who your ideal client is and your target audience is, and what are they willing to spend and invest in. And you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to say, like, I think they're only going to pay this, so I'm going to charge this. Like, when it comes to packaging and pricing your products, you want to price it at what you know you're valued at, right? You know what you're worth. You don't want to price it at the time you took to create something, or how much experience you think you have or don't have. Like, you want to price it and be authentic and confident in your price of the value that you provide to someone, right? Because you provide the solution for that problem. You are helping them to accomplish the transformation, to get the life change they're looking for, to get the solution, the answers that they're looking for. Like, you hold the key to that information. And so this is the value that you provide for them. So you have to price upon that. And then I would talk about how you want to find your sweet spot. And what I talk about a sweet spot is this is another formula, guys. I'm not a huge formula type of person, but I have another formula for you. So write this down, okay? You want to find your sweet spot. Your sweet spot is your expertise plus your seeker's problem plus what they will invest. That's your sweet spot. So again, your expertise plus your seeker's problem plus what they will invest. And that's your sweet spot. So your sweet spot is what you is a combination of that your experiences, what that you're valued at, what the problem that your seekers are looking to get answered, and then what you feel they're willing to invest in it. Let me know if that doesn't make sense, okay? Write to me if that doesn't make sense. Example, now I want to go into some of the examples of the product levels that you can offer as an online coach. So the very bottom are the freebies. The freebies are going to help. These are things that are going to help build your email list, build your following, build trust, build a connection with your audience, attract seekers. It helps people freebies help people take the very first steps that they need to take to get the solution that they're looking for their common problem in your specific niche. Again, I'll say that again. It helps people take the very first steps to solving the common problem that they have in that specific niche that you're in. And some freebies that you can do are like PDFs, cheat sheets, guidebooks, a free ebook, live videos, webinars, free trainings. These are all freebies that people can start to learn from you and build trust with you, get value from you. And then above that are going to be your info products. So the info products build upon your freebie products. And these are also kind of what people can call tripwires. So they earn you a passive income. There's lower priced products. And they take them the next step up from their freebies, and take them to the next step to solving the solution or solving the problem that they're seeking a solution to. So the freebie gives them a certain amount, and then their info products could be the next level. This is something that people can tangibly, or not tangibly, but can purchase online. And these things could be, for instance, like workbooks or smaller priced courses or ebooks too. So I said the word tripwire. A tripwire is something that's a really low price product. It usually ranges like less than $35 or less than $40. It could be like an ebook, and it gets someone to spark their interest and their knowledge of you and your brand, and still offering them a solution to whatever problem they have. And then there are courses and group programs. So courses are more of a skill based. So the difference between a course and a signature program is that, like I said, a signature program takes someone through a full transformation. A course takes someone more through a technical aspect of a skill or a very, very short specific problem that they're looking an answer for, not through a life transformation or a building a career type of transformation. And so a course usually is like less than like $900 or less than like around $500 or something. That's like the type of price range for like a course. Courses are used to leverage your time and your income. They're passive income, so you only have to create it once, and then you just sell it. It's a passive income, so it just makes money as people purchase it and you create it at one time. It's a way to systemize your sessions or your information into repeatable processes. So it's something you create once and it's a system you've created and people can buy it and it just goes on repeat. It guarantees predictable results usually, and it creates the material. Like I said, you only create it once and you can sell it and resell it. You can always add to it. You can always touch it up or redo it or whatnot. Platforms like Teachable and Kajabi and Thinkific and stuff like that are platforms that you use to do those, create courses and programs on. And they make it super simple to like update it. And when someone buys a program, like you do with mine, when you buy the program, you have it for a lifetime. Like it's yours. You buy it once, it's yours forever. You can refer it back to, and you get all the updates. You get all like, if I like do it and relaunch it, yeah, it's yours forever. Like you have it, and you have access to all the newest information and stuff. People do one-on-one coaching sessions, like I mentioned a little bit before. It's a premium service because it's offering your time and personal time and like energy into focusing and helping that specific person. So people tend to price it a lot higher, and the price reflects that of a premium service. And then lastly, there's the signature program. And the signature program is like what I offered in mine. Travel from sorry, I'm looking at how much notes I have because it's getting so dark in here. Travel from Passion to Profit is my program, and as a signature program, just like as a course, you create it once and you sell it again. You can launch or relaunch it. You can always update it and stuff like that, and it takes a full transformation. And I want to talk a little bit about money-making tasks. A lot of people, money-making tasks are something that you need to focus on, spend your time focusing on, and what not to focus your time on. So when you're starting a business, a lot of people, like I mentioned before, get gung-ho on creating a logo or a full website and stuff. Like those are great and they're nice to have, but like you want to focus on a money-making task that's going to ultimately make you money, right? That's the point of having a business, is to generate income. So some of those money-making tasks are things like working on a program, working on a course, working on the content you have to like give free information, doing a Facebook Live, and building your audience. Like those are money-making tasks because they're ultimately going to get you the end result of generating an income. So if you're feeling stuck, think of the top 3 things that you're doing that's taking up your time. You have to figure out, what are you spending your time on? Are you doing things that are going to directly make you money? And if not, then stop those and eliminate those. Like focus on what is going to ultimately make you money. So those are money-making tasks. And the most valuable things that I learned about along the way as a travel coach and starting my own online business are things like the importance of providing value, the importance of telling my story, and the importance of mentorship. Like I learned so much from other coaches and other people who are successful in the online business world and stuff. So I learned so much from other mentors. Like when you find someone of success or did what you do or that you want to do, then model from them, mirror from them, ask them questions, talk to them, learn from them. Like why work harder if you can just, get answers a lot sooner and a lot easier, right? And then setting yourself apart from competition. I know I mentioned this a little bit before, but some of the ways it's super important to set yourself apart from competition, because in the online world, especially the coaching world, not necessarily the travel coaching world, but there's a lot of noise and a lot of saturation in like travel blogging and stuff like that. So you want to be able to set yourself apart. Some ways to do that are what I call the 3 F's: feel, felt, and found. You want to say how you feel, or when someone talks to you, you want to say like, I understand how you feel because I felt that, and that's why I found this solution. So it's called the feel, felt, found effect. Which is another thing that I've come up with because I found it really effective for myself. So the 3 F's again are feel, felt, and found. So it's a nice way to build connection and relatability to people in your audience and your seekers, is to say that you understand how they feel, you felt the same way, and this is how I found the solution, or this is why I found the solution. For instance, like I know as travelers, I know how you feel wanting to find your own business and figure out what you're meant to do, because I felt the same way. And I was struggling trying to figure out what I was meant to be doing. And that's why I founded my career as an online travel coach, and I founded the Travel Coach Network. Some other ways to stand out are to think of ways that you can be different, such as like be really good with customer service, like be really responsive when people reach out to you, build a Facebook community that is different from others, or just like things that are going to make people remember you versus someone else, or buy from you versus someone else. Be like super likable or super nice and polite, or something that, I mean, obviously stay true to yourself, but like something that is going to be more effective, that people are going to remember you or choose you over someone else. Maybe like that's where delivering value comes into play. Like deliver so much good information that you're different from other people or other coaches, right? And then also a nice way to stand out is to create a new category, guys. Like if that's why becoming a travel coach is so exciting, is that you create a new category between the travel industry and the coaching industry that is pretty unpaved, right? And you are become the go-to person in that industry. So that's why like right now is such a good time to become a travel coach, is because I've paved the path for travel coaching through the Travel Coach Network, and it's just a great way to just stand out and to deliver something different, or be something different, or offer something different when you create a new category. And then establishing your authority and your credibility, that's super important, because you want to build trust and a connection, and you want people to know that they can come to you and they're getting valuable and good information and the right information. So a lot of people will say, like, I don't have very much experience as a coach or as a traveler or anything like that, or a business person. Like, why would anyone listen to me? Well, that's where your story comes into play. Like, what got you to this place that made you want to become a travel coach or start a business? Like, that is establishing your authority and your credibility, right? Like no one can take from you your stories and your experiences. Like, you learned a lesson somehow. Like, what was that? How did that come about? How did that transformation happen that led you to where you are now? Like, that builds your credibility, not a degree on the wall, not a plaque or a trophy or anything like that. Like, people are not coming to look for people because of the degree that they have or the PhD they have. They're coming because they have real life, true experience stories and everything, and personal experience. That's why people are coming to people for help or expertise. They want to know, like, I was in that same, you were in my position, and like you got to this point. Like, I want you to help me get there too. If you want to become an expert, you have to act and think like an expert. That means like in taking this leap to make investments. Like, you have to be able to take the time, not only invest in time, but invest in like financially. Like, you have to figure out what resources can you use most and most effectively to help you get to the end goal of starting your own business or whatever dream career that you're looking for. You also act like a expert when you build your credibility, you show your confidence, you go, create videos, you provide value. That's all helping to build your expertise too. So if you're someone who's like, oh, I don't have experience, or I can't do this or can't do that, like, there are so many ways to work on that. Talk about what to already spend money on first. Oh, what to actually spend money on first. Things like where I kept talking about my website and stuff. In my program, I go over all the things that I think are more important for you to work on first, and then what you can push off and hold for later. What programs to invest in first, like building a program or an online course type of program. When should I actually like invest in that, or stuff like that. So things that I learned along the way when I was starting my business is like, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have like paid for this now, or I didn't need this landing page yet, or I didn't need to like spend time doing this. Like, there's a certain sequence that like are things that are way more important than others, and so I help go through that in my program too. And then something that's really big I want to talk about is creating what I call scroll stopping content. That's really important. So that's in my program. I go deeply dive into helping you figure out like how to what kind of content to put out there and how to put it out there, what networks to use to put it out there, and stuff like that. It's getting so dark in here, guys. I'm going to try to wrap this up soon. Oh, I'm almost done. And the scroll stopping content that you want to provide are things that spark emotion, tug at heartstrings, build connections. It teaches people something. You want to the conversion. Why emotion, touching on emotion is so important when it comes to like providing value and like putting content out there, is because of this another formula I have for you guys. You write this down: equals conversion equals emotion plus urgency. What I mean by that is like I said before, like 70% of people make a decision based on their emotion, and then and 30% on logic. So when 70% of their decision is based on emotion, the other part that helps them decide on whether they should take that leap or make that investment or anything is like the urgency. So you want to say like, oh, like it's really important that you get into this now or do this now or anything like that. So that's some of the tips that I offer to help you grow your business and stuff like that as a travel coach, is by creating scroll stopping content that's really going to, like, when people, and I call it that because people scroll in the screen, there's so much noise on the social media these days. So what is going to make you stand out, and how can you resonate with people and get them to pay attention to you versus someone else? And then the last step in the strategies that I listed of the 6 strategies are to be strategic. You want to be so strategic with all the things that you do. You don't want to just do anything just to do something. You don't want to get something done just to get something done. You want to work on something just to work on something. Like, you have to know why you are doing what you're doing. It's like you don't want to throw noodles at a wall and see which one sticks. That can be good sometimes when it comes to like only in the market research area, when you're trying to figure out like what responses you're getting, what kind of niche and specialty, like that could be good in there. But if you aren't strategic with like when you post, what you post on social media, like what websites you use, like what you say in your content, when you post, like all this kind of stuff, like be super strategic with it, because it's going to get you the best results in the end. And that's what you're ultimately trying to do, is to get your message out there, to help people, to have people invest in you and your services and stuff. And it all comes with strategy. So as a business person, you have to get into the mindset of strategy. And I'm glad I said that, because the last thing I want to talk about is the mindset, the importance of mindset. And that's so key, you guys. I did a video of this on my in my Facebook group, Sahara Travels. So I know it's getting really dark, so I'm going to try to hurry this up. So you can look into that, all about mindset and how important it is. It's so important, not only when you're traveling the world, but starting a business, like especially on your own, like getting in the right mindset is key. So I want to share with you really quick a fun little activity that I come up with that I do every day when it comes to having a good mindset, which is I call the 3 Stooges. So just like the 3 Stooges, Larry, Curly, and Moe. Larry is for learn. So you want to learn something every single day. So learn at least one new thing every single day, and that would help motivate you and inspire you. Moe is to motivate. Do one thing every single day that motivates you. And that could be watch a video, or listen to a podcast, or read a part of a book or something like that. Like, so something that motivates you every day. And then 3 is Curly, and Curly is comical. And I know it's quite of a stretch, but you get it. And I like to do something every single day that makes me laugh. So do something every single day that makes you laugh. And when you do this, it really changes your mindset and helps you get in a better mood and more positive mood. And so when you apply that with Larry, Moe, and learning and motivating and doing something funny, it really helps you boost your mentality and your mindset and get you back on track and motivated and eager and inspired and stuff to keep on going. Okay, guys, so if you're not ready to build your dream career at this moment, it's totally okay. There are other ways for you to learn more about becoming a travel coach, and whether it's the career for you or not. If you find that so you can, and below this video, I have a link so you can go and follow my Facebook page, Sahara Travels. I post a lot of value on there, a lot of videos, and you can stay updated and stuff. You can visit my website, thetravelcoachnetwork.com. That's also the link below this video too. And then if you're super serious and you are ready to make that change in your life, especially with the new year coming around, guys, 2019 is just around the corner, and maybe on your list of, New Year's resolutions to do is to, finally make that change in your life, that get that dream career you've been looking for. And then 3 is you can click the link below, and where I talk about to take you to my program, Travel from Passion to Profit. It's a 5-week online program, and we do a deep dive into everything you need to know to become a travel coach. It is dripped out through emails. The structure is I have videos, it's written, so if you rather listen to it or you rather read it, or I have a lot of really interactive like activities and workbooks and really good resources that I use to, and I've come up with that helped me build my business. That's like a cheat sheet, like a short track for you to like not spend time and money and waste energy on finding solutions to things. Like I put that all in there for you guys. Also, like I mentioned before, with the purchase of my program, you get one 60-minute, your own choice, whenever you want, of one-on-one coaching session with me. I can help you get over that hurdle or anything. And outside of that 1 hour, you have access. You'll be automatically entered into my or joined into my private Facebook group for that program only as a student. And we're in there. You can post any questions that you may have, and I'll answer them. And help you with anything at any time. And also you can interact with other travel coaches and get feedback and stuff from them too. So you're never going to be at any point without information or help or anything like that without your program. I'm here to help you step by step, guys, like throughout the entire thing. So also with the purchase of my program today, you're going to get $100 off, and also you're going to get 3 free modules, which are super excited. I have a module for bloggers. I have a bonus module for bloggers. Get a bonus module on the types of content to post on social media, which is super helpful, and also a bonus module on choosing the right social networks to post on for your business. And that's super key because you don't want to be posting everywhere. It's so exhausting. You want to know what the right ones to post on are. Also, another thing is like just get a journal and brainstorm and start analyzing today after you watch this masterclass. Like go over what you learned and what we talked about, and just start brainstorming and see like, you know, where your mind's at. Are you ready to start a business? What kind of business do you want? Like, has anything in this masterclass resonate with you and helped you try to like spark inspiration or motivation or anything? Reach out to me, please. Like, I want to offer you guys. So I also said that the first 50 people to enroll in my program not only get, of course, with the program, you get 1 hour with me. That's included, but you also get the first 50 get an extra 30-minute with me. You can use whenever you want. That's a little incentive for my program, and it's only a limited time for limited spots because I'm heading down to Argentina next week, and I'm going to be traveling around South America. So I want to definitely enjoy my travels too. So I don't have too much one-on-one personal time, but so my program is going to be open, and my Facebook group will be open for you. So I will be able to answer all your questions on there. So my time is super, super valuable. So the first 50 get an extra 30 minutes with me. And if you're still not quite sure and you're not ready to invest, that's totally okay, guys. Please just follow me on my Facebook page and reach out to me if you have any questions at all about anything. I completely understand how you feel and like what you may be stuck on, and let me know if there's something I can help you overcome, or some sort of objection or fear that you have. Maybe you're not quite sure on something, and like you need some advice or something. I'd love to help you out. And also, like, I'm offering with this, I still have something for you. So if you're not interested in investing today in my program, totally okay. I want to offer you guys a free delivery call. So a 30-minute delivery session. It could be our call session via Facebook Messenger or Skype, however you'd like, via chat or video. And we can talk about, whether travel coaching is for you, and, see if this is a career path change that you've been looking for, like it was for me. Figure out what your travel and career goals and desires and everything are. And if you want to do that, if that sounds good for you, the link is also below for booking the free discovery call. And today, and I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on my masterclass. I'm so sorry it's in the dark. That's what happens when you live in Wisconsin in the wintertime, and it's 4:30 and it's dark out. And please, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found value in my free masterclass. I'm so excited that I was able to share this information about travel coaching with you guys. So please, please, please reach out to me with any questions or information or anything like that. And again, click the link below to either enroll in my program or to learn more. You can also click on the link if you just want to see the curriculum, the full itinerary or full curriculum for it. Itinerary, I'm such a traveler. Or to learn just more about my program and to see what other bonuses you get in it, or whether the package all includes. Also, or if you just want to visit my website, travelcoachnetwork.com, or if you want to follow me on my Facebook page. So thank you guys so much. I'm sorry that you have to look at me in the dark, but I will talk to you next time, and please reach out. I will see you guys soon. Bye.